Guys, it's Alicia, and I'm here with my um, what is it, 30-week vlog? Oh my goodness, that's what I have down, but it seems like that can't possibly be right. Unfortunately, I've had a very eventful week, which, you know, nobody wants to see in pregnancy, so I'm just gonna jump right in. Just a recap, last Thursday, um, the 15th, I went to the doctor and told them that I thought I was having a lot of contractions, and they checked me, and I was 0 centimeters. I was completely closed, and the baby was fine, my blood pressure was fine, and they asked me to limit my activity. They also wanted to see me a follow-up visit on Wednesday, which was, 3 days ago. It's Saturday. So on Wednesday, I went in, and my blood pressure was 109/63. The baby's heartbeat was 146 beats a minute, and because they asked about my contractions, and I said there's still a lot of them, and she said, well, give me an estimate. And I said, well, in the 25 minutes that I've been out of the car, in your parking lot, I've had one when I got out of the car, I had one in the waiting room, I had one getting my blood pressure taken, and I think there might be one starting up now. And she said, okay, I'm going to check dilation, but I think that I want you to go be monitored. Well, I am 1 centimeter dilated, so I changed dilation. So they sent me to labor and delivery to be monitored. She said it would take 1 or 2 hours. Well, they put me on the monitor, and within 10 minutes I could tell that that these contractions were no joke. The nurse came in. She said, I'm going to leave you on the monitor for an hour. We're going to see what's going on. She came in. It could not have been an hour. There was no clock in the room, but I'm guessing it was more, maybe 45 minutes. And the look on her face, I knew something wasn't right. And I said, what? And she said, you're contracting every 2 to 3 minutes. Which I knew I was contracting a lot. I did not realize it was every 2 to 3 minutes. And they were like clockwork on the monitor. I mean, they were just, they were very regular. And so she called the doctor. I was given a pill form of albuterol. I hope I'm saying that right. It's usually for asthma sufferers to open up the lungs. It is a muscle relaxer for the smooth muscles. So the lungs are a smooth muscle. Well, the uterus is also a smooth muscle. So they gave me albuterol and started an IV, and the contractions didn't really do a whole lot. They kind of spaced out just a little bit, maybe went closer to 3 minutes apart. And they lost a little bit of their intensity. And again, these contractions, there was no pain. I could talk through them, it was just that tightening that can get uncomfortable, but there was no pain. And after, you can only have that pill every 3 hours. So after a couple of hours, I think it was 2 hours, she came back in and said, we're going to try another medication in shot form. So they gave me, and I cannot remember the name of this medication to save my life. So she gave me a shot in my arm, which, oh my goodness, actually really hurt. And she said, and we're going to let you eat, which I had only had a banana at about 7 a.m. that morning, and it was when they had me when they had me call for food. It was 4:15 in the afternoon, so they let me call and order whatever I wanted, and the food was there in about 20 minutes. And I told my husband, I was like, I am trying not to eat like an animal at a trough. I am so hungry. So after that, after the shot kicked in, which took about 15 to 20 minutes, so I was given the shot, and just as I was given the shot, my food showed up. And so, well, not just, about 10 or 15 minutes, my food showed up. So I was shaky, but I ate everything they brought me. And my contraction line, by the time, I got back into a relaxed state in the bed, my contraction line had gone flat. And meanwhile, the baby's heart rate was being monitored as well, and it was just perfect. There was no issues. Baby was tolerating everything really well. So she came in, she goes, okay, I'm going to give you 15, 20 more minutes, and then we're going to call your doctor and tell her that we've stopped them. And I was like, okay. 10 minutes later, contraction on the monitor, and I almost flipped my lid. I just thought, no way. And she came in pretty much right after that, and I said, did you see that? And she said, yes, I saw that, but one contraction in 45 minutes is better than every 2 to 3 minutes. I said, okay, you're right. She said, I'm going to call your doctor. And about 30 minutes later, I was out of there. They gave me a prescription for albuterol. I didn't know exactly when to take it, and it didn't work by itself in the hospital, so I'm a little bit skeptical. They wanted to see me on Friday, so I basically laid on the couch all day Thursday, and then Friday I got up and went to the doctor Friday morning. My blood pressure was 109/60, and I laughed and said, well, that's not showing how nervous I am. And the nurse laughed, and she said, it's fine, everything's going to be okay. The baby's heart rate was 147 beats a minute, and the most thing I was nervous about is whether or not I had dilated anymore, because that's what they were most concerned about in labor and delivery. I was checked 4 times that day with no change. I was just sitting at a centimeter, which is, I'll take that over progressing at this point anyway. So there was no change in my dilation. I am still a centimeter dilated. She put me back, well, I was never taken off limited activity, but she said, no shopping. I can't shop. I can't, no sex. Basically, she wants me to sit. She also mentioned that she wants to closely monitor me, so I need to come once a week. She said next week, I already had an appointment for next Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up, I think it's the 27th or 28th. And she said, if you are not dilated, and they're going to do and I'm going to butcher the name of this test. They did it last Thursday, and it was negative. It was the test that tells if you're going to go into labor within the next 2 weeks. It's like a fetal neonectin test or something like that. She said if that comes back negative, she might let me go 2 weeks between my appointments, but honestly, I'm not sure she's going to let me. So I will have that test again on Wednesday to see if there's a chance to go into labor. So basically, if I can make it the next 5 weeks, they'll probably just leave me alone. If I can make it to 37 weeks, it won't matter anymore. So that was my week, and it really, really stinks. Today, honestly, I just feel really off. I just don't feel good, and that's all I can say about it. I can't put my finger on what it is. I told my husband, I just feel off. And I said, maybe it's because I've laid around all day long, and I am not a layer arounder. I am willing to be in this situation, obviously, anything to keep me and baby healthy. But, so anyway, I'm just not feeling real good right now. So I'm sorry, I'm not in the best of moods. About week 30 though, it's getting harder to keep food down. I just feel like, everything is, baby seems to be big, just suddenly, and taking up a bunch of room. So, I'm having trouble keeping my food down. I have a lot of, kind of like that, I'll burp and you get kind of like the throw up in your mouth kind of thing, which is just disgusting. I would almost rather just throw up. Well, I won't say that for those of you who are actually throwing up. I'm sorry. But it's really hard to sleep. It really hurts. And then I'm actually going to the bathroom a lot. Just here in the last week or week and a half, I feel like I'm going like every couple of minutes. So yeah, and I will I'll let you know how the next appointment goes, or if there's anything to report between now and then. I am making a mobile for the nursery, and so I will be posting that video. That's something I can do from a seated position. So I'm going to be doing that and videotaping that, so be on the lookout. And here's a belly shot. So I'm feeling really big today, or these days, I guess. So there's baby. Anywho, guys, I hope this finds you happy and healthy, and you have a great weekend and the rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon.